Hey everyone, this is GFrom bringing you my 11th video game review, which is Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Game Gear. Some of you might say, hey, didn't you already make a video about the 16-bit version? Why would you make another one about the 8-bit version? Well, the answer is quite simple. It's a totally different game. So let's take a look at it right away, shall we?
Story-wise, it's basically the same as in its 16-bit counterpart. Dr. Robotnik is turning animals into evil robots in order to rule the world, and Sonic has to stop him. Gameplay is also very similar. Sonic can jump by pressing any button and roll by running and pressing down. The items are also the same. You get 10 rings, a shield, invincibility and an extra life. From here on almost everything is different. Checkpoints are now also TV thingies instead of these posts. You collect rings as usual, but when you get hit you lose all of them and can't get any of them back. Which of course makes it a lot harder. Like before, there are 6 zones with 3 acts each, but things are a little different. Rather than having 3 complete acts, the third act is just a boss fight with Robotnik. No rings can be found here, which of course makes it a lot harder. At the end of the first 2 acts you have to spin a panel with a reward given based on what it lands on. If you have over 50 rings you get to play a special stage, which unlike the Mega Drive version doesn't reward you with a Chaos Emerald, but gives you continuous and extra lives. Now you might wonder how to get the Chaos Emeralds. Well, the 6 Chaos Emeralds are hidden within the stages, which means that if you missed one, there's no chance for you to get a good ending, which of course makes things a lot harder. Like I said, there are 6 zones. Green Hill Zone, Labyrinth Zone and Scrap Brain Zone are taken from the Mega Drive game and look very nice in 8-bit. Only the look is similar, the levels themselves are totally different. For one thing, the water in the Labyrinth Zone is blue instead of green, and Scrap Brain Zone is like a maze this time around. Bridge Zone is kind of unique because we actually have a scrolling level in a Sonic game. Jungle Zone is built vertically, which also is unusual. Skybase Zone looks the coolest by far, and the second act takes place on a giant zeppelin. I think the first 2 zones look kind of pale, but it gets more colorful later on in the game. There are no loop-de-loops in this game, believe it or not, and it forces you to slow down a lot because there are bottomless pits about everywhere. And is it just me, or does Sonic look kind of pissed? I guess I would be too if I had to deal with all this kind of stuff. But here, he looks like a goofball. And here, oh, I just want to punch him. With the exception of the title screen and the Green Hill Zone, all of the songs in this game are new. Except for the Skybase music, they are nowhere near as epic as some of the Mega Drive tunes. But all of them are very catchy and put you in a good mood, especially Bridge Zone. My favorite tune has to be Labyrinth Zone. I find the boss tune to be a bit disappointing, because it just gives you a feeling like, oh yeah, I'm beating Robotnik, oh yeah, I'm beating Robotnik. Unlike the Mega Drive music, which was kick-ass. And I hate the music that comes when you die. I heard it so often. The 8-bit version of Sonic the Hedgehog was released 4 months after the original Mega Drive game in Europe. It wasn't for the Game Gear, but for the Sega Master System. In December of 1991, 2 months after the Master System port, it eventually made its way to the Game Gear. There are quite a few differences between the 2 8-bit games, but I'm never going to show you. Yes, the game is quite hard, but it's nice to be challenged in a Sonic game, because I don't know everything by heart like on the Mega Drive. I died so many times. Most of the time because of cheap stuff like these bottomless pits. They are everywhere. You run, you have fun, you jump and you die. You think it's a good chance to bring up some speed into the game, and then you die again. This game could have worked very well with a totally different character. You have to wait a lot, memorize stuff, and deal with trial and error the whole time. It's just so annoying at times. And that music when you die, that really makes me angry. Just stop it! Oh, no! Just stop! What's Sonic's deal anyway? He looks like a goddamn hamster. While this game doesn't follow the Sonic formula that much, you have to keep in mind that this was the 2nd game in the series. This game doesn't try to be like its big brother, it tries new ways and does that very well. Although I complain about the slow parts, they are quite fun and challenging. The thing I like the most is probably the overall design. This game just looks very good and is up there with some of the best games of the 8-bit era. And even though I can't come up with something great that sticks out, this game is still a lot of fun to play. Isn't that the most important thing? If you haven't played this game yet and call yourself a Sonic fan, then I highly recommend picking it up. If you're not into Sonic, then you won't like this game either. For all the others, it's a quite unique game when it comes to the 2D Sonic games, and if you have an open mind for new elements that were never seen again in the franchise, I think you will have a few hours of fun with Sonic the Hedgehog. The music is good, level design is outstanding, and gameplay is solid. And if you don't have a Game Gear, then there's still the Master System version you can pick up, which I'm not going to show you. Alright then. Just for a little bonus, I got myself the Master System version as well. So let's take a quick look at the differences between the two games. As you can tell right from the beginning, the Sega logo is missing, and the music is way slower. But that's just us Europeans getting screwed again, you know? Like always. As soon as you get into the actual game, you'll notice that Sonic looks totally different in this version. Better, I might add. He looks way more detailed. The screen resolution is higher, but the color palette is lower. You can get a speed power-up this time, which I didn't find in the Game Gear port. Correct me if I'm wrong. In this version, Sonic controls harder and can't jump as high. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because the controls feel less slippery. The only time this becomes a disadvantage is on the first boss fight, because you can only hit Robotnik when he comes down. The special stages are a bit different because the springs have different colors. The second act of the jungle zone is harder this time around because the game doesn't allow you to jump down, or else you die. But since I didn't die one single time here, I wouldn't even have noticed. The Labyrinth Zone's design is different too, and the Chaos Emerald is in a totally different spot. Just how am I supposed to get that one without taking a hit? Wonderful. Some of the boss fights are a bit different, and the last boss has even been replaced. On the Master System it's way harder in my opinion. Other than that, the games are basically the same. So, which one do I prefer? If I had to choose one game, I would go with the Master System port. I didn't die so often because the controls feel more tight and less slippery than on the Game Gear. Sonic looks cooler and the whole game just looks more appealing to me. That doesn't mean that the Game Gear version looks bad, but the Master System wins this battle in my opinion. So, if you want 8-bit Sonic the Hedgehog, go with the good old Sega Master System. It's a fun game, which I'm going to spend more time with in the future. And you should too. That's it for this time. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked my review of 2 games, and that you see these games with different eyes than before. Feel free to rate, comment and subscribe. My next review will be...
Before we end this thing, I want to start something kind of new. Every time I review a game from a franchise that I've already talked about in another video, I'll give you my personal ranking of these games, so that you can see where it stands compared to the other games from that franchise. So far I've reviewed Sonic the Hedgehog for the Mega Drive, Sonic the Hedgehog for the Game Gear, and Sonic the Hedgehog for the Master System. Since the 2 8-bit games are basically the same, I'll just mention the Master System version from here on, because I like that one a little bit better. While this game is fun to play, it has no chance against its big brother on the Mega Drive, which is one of my all-time favorites. So the Master System is my number 2, and the Mega Drive game is my number 1, up to this point. Now there are only 2 games on the list, but as the list gets bigger, it'll get more interesting I think. So, again, feel free to rate, comment and subscribe. My next video is big and I'll try something different this time around. As some of you know, the FIFA World Cup isn't far away and I'm pretty excited about that. So next up is a big ass marathon of all the World Cup games that I own. 3. First we have World Cup 90 Italy for the Mega Drive, then we have FIFA World Cup 2002 Japan South Korea for the PlayStation, and last but not least, FIFA World Cup 2010 South Africa for the Wii. You can look forward to some pretty entertaining videos, folks. I'll see you later, have a nice day. Hey, didn't you already make the video for fucking bullshit? Well, some of you might say, oh shit. Why would you make another one for the fucking bullshit? Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Mega Drive. Fuck! Hey everyone, this is GFrom. Why would you make another version? Fuck! Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Mega Drive. Fuck! Every time I review a game from a... Before we end this thing, I want to start something kind of new. Before we end this thing... What? Before we end this thing, I have to but as the list gets... Blah. Fuck this! I'll give you my personal ranking of these games. Now there are only 2 games in the list, but as the list gets bigger... Fuck! Now the... Fuck! Every time I review... I'll give you my... But as the list gets big... But as the list gets bigger... Fucking asshole. To end this thing, I want to start something kind of new. Man, I'll give you my personal ranking of the bullshit these games, so that you can see where fucking bullshit. Before where so that you can see where it stands. God damn it! Every time I so far I've reviewed. I fucking hate this shit. So the Master System, while it's still fucking... Now there are only 2 games in the franchise, but a fucking asshole, I fucking hate this piece of shit, man! So the Master System game is my number 2, and the Mega Drive game is my number 1. Up to this point. What the fuck? God damn! A game from a franchise that I've already talked about in another video. Now there are only 2 games in the